Now coming to another topic, the missionary and the insights. The missionary and the insights. Students, the multiplication of one parental DNA into two daughter DNA molecules. Two daughter DNA molecules. This process, it is called replication of DNA. Replication. Okay. This is called replication. And this is also called duplication of DNA. Duplication of DNA. They have the multiplication of one parent DNA into two daughter DNA molecules. This is called replication or duplication. Generally, this replication or duplication takes place in a S phase of interphase. In first day syllabus, during interphase, there are two stages. G1, S, G2. During S phase of interphase, DNA multiplied into two copies. Each DNA is multiplied into two copies. Anyhow, DNA replication takes place in a S phase of interphase. At the same time, in previous class, scientist Michelson and Stahl. Scientists Michelson and Stahl also experimentally proved the semi-conservative method of replication. Semi-conservative method. The DNA replication takes place by the method of semi-conservative method. What is a semi-conservative method? Semi-conservative method means first DNA is two strands of DNA get separated to each other. Now separated two strands of DNA, parental DNA strands, they act as templates in the formation of daughter DNA molecules. In this way, every daughter DNA molecule, it has one old strand. One is a old strand, that is parental strand. Old strand means parental strand. And other one is newly synthesized strand. One is old strand and other one is newly synthesized strand. Presence of one old strand and other newly synthesized strand. Such a method. The method of replication in which every daughter DNA molecule is consists of one old strand and parental and other one is newly synthesized strand. Such method of replication is called semi-conservative method of replication. Subsequently, actually this semi-conservative method was proposed by scientists Watson and Crick. At the same time, this semi-conservative method, it was first experimentally proved by scientists Michelson and Stahl, especially in E. coli cells. Subsequently, scientist Taylor, very important, Taylor, also experimentally proved the semi-conservative method, the chromosomes of Vicia faba bean by using radioactive thymidine. So, actually, this Michelson and Stahl, their semi-conservative method, they used NH4Cl 15 and NH4Cl 14. They are radioactive isotopes used by scientist Michelson and Stahl. But scientist Taylor explains semi-conservative method of replication in chromosomes and especially in Vicia faba bean by using radioactive timing. You know these points in previous class. Now coming to the other point topic, the machinery and the enzymes. So students, the entire replication process, okay, especially in E. coli, that is in prokaryotic cells. In case of prokaryotic cells, entire replication process is under the controlling of a set of enzymes. A set of enzymes. A set of enzymes, they help in the replication process, semi-conservative method of replication of DNA molecule. Especially in prokaryotes like bacterial cells, DNA replication, it is due to presence of a set of enzymes. And the main and important enzyme in this set of enzymes, this is DNA dependent, okay. The most important enzyme in this set of enzymes, that is DNA dependent DNA polymerase. Very important. DNA dependent DNA polymerase. This is responsible enzyme for the replication of DNA from one parent DNA to the two daughter DNA molecules. So, in case of E. coli prokaryotic cells, replication of DNA is under the controlling of a set of enzymes. And in this set of enzymes, the most important and dominant enzyme is DNA dependent DNA polymerase. Why this is called DNA dependent DNA polymerase? First, DNA molecule is separated into two strands. Now the two strands, they serve as templates in the formation of new DNA molecules. So that this replication process, it is based on the nitrogen base sequence present in the old strands. This enzyme it polymerizes the new strands by using the nitrogen bases of the old strands. It's dependent on the parental strands. The polymerization of this enzyme is dependent on the nitrogen base sequence of the old strands, so that it was named as DNA dependent DNA polymerase. Very important. Mention the name of enzyme that play very significant role in replication. Option 1, DNA dependent DNA polymerase and DNA dependent RNA polymerase, RNA dependent RNA polymerase, RNA dependent DNA polymerase. Which one is correct? DNA dependent DNA polymerase is enzyme that helps in this replication process. At the same time, you know, this enzyme is a highly efficient enzyme. Highly efficient. Why this is considered as highly efficient enzyme? Because this enzyme, it polymerases a large number of nucleotides within very short period of time. For example, there are many nucleotides in the template strand of DNA. Thousands of nitrogen bases sequence of nucleotides are present in template strand. This DNA dependent DNA polymerase enzyme is highly efficient. It polymerizes a large number of nucleotides present in the template strand within very short period of time, so that this DNA is a highly efficient enzyme because it can polymerase large number of nucleotides within very short period of time. Very short period of time. For example, you know the total number of nucleotide base pairs. You know the total number of base pairs present in DNA of Escherichia coli. What is the number of nucleotides in DNA of Escherichia coli? In case of Escherichia coli, okay, 4.6 into 10 power 6 base pairs are there. That is the length of DNA in E. coli. 4.6 into 10 power 6 base pairs are present in DNA molecules in E. coli. And this length is very shorter than the length of human cell. Already the diploid content of human cell contain how many base pairs? Haploid content of human cell contain 3.3 10 power 9. But what about the diploid content? Into 2, that is 6.6 into 10 power 9 base pairs are present in human cells. This is a diploid content of human cells. Then compare the nitrogen bases of human cells. The nitrogen base pairs of E. coli, they are very short. Anyhow, the entire DNA present in E. coli, the complete polymerization of this E. coli means this enzyme it polymerize. This enzyme will polymerize the DNA of E. coli within 38 minutes. Very, very important. The replication process of E. coli of bacteria, it completes within 38 minutes. The enzyme, highly efficient enzyme, that is DNA dependent DNA polymerase enzyme, it polymerizes the total DNA present in E. coli, having 4.6 into 10 power 6 base pairs of DNA. It polymerizes within very short period of time, that is within 38 minutes. That is the average polymerization of the average rate of the polymerization. This is 2000 base pairs per second. Very, very important. The average polymerization rate 4.6 into 10 power 6 base pairs length of DNA is polymerized within 38 minutes in E. coli. So that the average polymerization rate it is approximately 2000 base pairs per 1 second. 2000 base pairs per 1 second. So that DNA dependent DNA polymerase is a highly efficient enzyme. It can polymerize a large number of nucleotides within very short period of time. For example, DNA of E. coli is transcribed. It polymerizes within very short period of time, that is 38 minutes. That is the average polymerization rate, approximately 2000 base pairs per 1 second. Okay, now coming to another point. Students, this DNA dependent DNA polymerase, it not only catalyzes the polymerization very rapidly, but also it polymerizes the nucleotides with a high degree of accuracy. It not only polymerizes at a high rate, it not only polymerizes the nucleotides rapidly, not only it completes the process rapidly, but also it polymerizes the nucleotide bases with a high rate of accuracy, high degree of accuracy, high degree of accuracy, very, very important. This enzyme is highly efficient enzyme, have the ability to polymerize a large number of nucleotides within very short period of time. For example, 38 minutes, only 38 minutes per DNA of E. coli. That is average polymerization rate approximately 2000 base pairs per 1 second. This enzyme, it not only catalyzes the polymerization with a rapid rate, at the same time it also maintains high degree of accuracy in polymerization. For example, this is a DNA gold strand, template strand DNA sequence. Okay. For example, nitrogen bases A, T, G, G, C. This is a template. And this is the newly synthesized strand under the controlling of enzyme DNA dependent DNA polymerase. Here, A is linked with P of newly synthesized strand by 2 hydrogen bonds and vice versa. G is linked with C present in newly synthesized strand by 3 hydrogen bonds and vice versa. In this way, this enzyme, okay, this enzyme, it polymerizes the nucleotides not only rapidly, but also high degree of accuracy. A is always complementary with the T, but not with the G and C. Always G is complementary with the C, but not A with A and T. No mistakes. This enzyme will complete the process with a very short period of time and very rapidly, but it maintains the quality, it maintains high degree of accuracy. It polymerizes all the nucleotides exactly with their complementary letters, but not with the uncomplementary letters. It maintains polymerization with the exact matching copies, but not with unmatching copies. Okay, so this maintains high degree of accuracy. For example, any mistake in this polymerization. For example, any mistake in the polymerization, what happened? For example, here A is there, T is there. Always T is complementary with A. For example, when A is replaced by either C or G, what happened? Any mistake in this polymerization process, ultimately it leads to change in base phase. Ultimately it leads to changes in base phase. Such a change is called a mutation. That is called mutation. When any mutation, when it occurs in the DNA exclusively at the level of nucleotide bases, for example, G is complementary with C. In case this C is replaced by another nucleotide like A and T, it leads to a change in the nitrogen base sequence of DNA. Such a change in nitrogen base sequence of DNA is called mutation. Such a mutation that takes place exclusively at the level of nitrogen base phase in DNA. The mutation that takes place exclusively at the level of nitrogen base sequence in DNA. Such mutations are called gene mutations. Okay, and also called point mutations. Point mutations. Such gene mutations and point mutations ultimately they lead to a change in the reading frame. Frame shift mutations. These changes they lead to a change in the frame shift. That is called frame shift mutations. Frame shift mutations. Ultimately, these mistakes in polymerization, it leads to some changes called mutations. Such mutations at the level of base phase in DNA are called point mutations, or they are called gene mutations. These point or gene mutations they lead to frame shift mutations. They lead to the change in the reading frame. Anyhow, without any mistakes, it can complete the process with a high degree of accuracy and also complete the process within very short period of time, so that this DNA dependent DNA polymerase is a highly efficient enzyme. Now coming to another point. This polymerization, okay, this polymerization or replication, this replication, okay, it is a energy expensive process, energy requiring process, energy expensive process. It requires some amount of energy for this polymerization. This enzyme it catalyzes the polymerization by using some amount of energy. But what is the source of energy for this polymerization? What is the source of energy for this enzyme? Here, the substrates, they are deoxyribose trinucleotides. Deoxyribose nucleoside triphosphates. Nucleoside triphosphates. Very, very important. Okay. Replication is energy expensive process. But what about the source of energy for this polymerization of this DNA? Here, the substrates deoxyribonucleoside triphosphates like adenosine triphosphate ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and cytosine triphosphate, guanosine triphosphate, and thymidine triphosphates. They are considered as deoxyribonucleoside triphosphates. Adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine means nucleoside. Triphosphates. Nucleoside with 3 phosphates. Cytosine. Cytidine with 3 phosphates. Guanosine with 3 phosphates. Thymidine with 3 phosphates. These nucleoside triphosphates, they are not only they function dual functions. They function dual functions. They perform dual functions. Dual functions means on one hand they are used as substrates. They are used as substrates. On other hand, they also provide energy. How they provide energy? By the elimination of the 2 phosphates, 2 extra phosphates. There are 3 phosphates. 2 extra phosphates are eliminated. Such elimination of extra phosphates, they provide some amount of energy as in adenosine triphosphate. So, these deoxyribonucleoside triphosphates like ATP, CTP, GTP and TTP, their function, dual function. They perform dual functions in replication. What is the dual function of these triphosphates? On one hand, they are used as substrates in the synthesis of newly synthesized strand. They are used as substrates in the newly synthesized strand on one hand. They are the substrates. On other hand, they also supply the energy required for this process by the elimination of 2 extra phosphates. By the elimination of 2 extra phosphates, they release some amount of energy. Such energy is utilized for this polymerization process. Okay. At the same time, in achieving this DNA-dependent DNA polymerase, this process also require some additional enzymes to complete the process. Additional enzymes to complete the process. Not only DNA-dependent DNA polymerase, it also requires some additional enzymes to complete the process. Here, during the time of replication, the 2 strands, they do not separate in the entire length. 2 strands, they do not separate at a time. 2 strands of the parent DNA, they do not separate at a time in entire length, because for the separation of these 2 strands at a time, it requires a large amount of energy. So that these 2 strands first they are open at a location. The 2 strands, they get separated at a location at the first time. On one end of the DNA, the 2 strands, they get separated to each other at a location. Such location is called replication fork. This is called replication fork. This replication fork means the site of the DNA where the replication process starts, where the 2 strands they get separated just in one place. That is called replication fork. It also requires some amount of enzymes, helicases. They play very significant role in these helicases. After the separation of this DNA strands, this DNA-dependent DNA polymerase starts the process of replication, and it polymerize all the letters present in parental strands into their copy in complementary nature to the opposite newly synthesized strands by using the triphosphates as substrates and by using the energy. Always this replication process it proceeds from only in one direction. Always replication process it proceeds in only one direction, that is 5' region to the 3' region. 5 friend relation to the 3 friend relation.